There's a problem with the lighting on the Alienware case. This is the left side, and you can see it looks like it's working correctly. It's set on purple now. Let's run through the colors. There's red, green, and blue. So all the lights appear to be working on that side. Let's flip it to white here if we can. There we go. So we can see that's working. Let's move around to the other side. On this side, only one of the lights is working. But it looks like all the colors are working on the one light. Red, green, and blue. And of course white. But it's only the one light. Let's see if we can see what the problem is here. If we actually, I can see very dimly. It looks like I can see red very dimly. There. So there's an intermittent break in the LED string in that side. So it looks like I have to take it apart and figure out what the problem is. There. It just broke again. There. It's working. Partially working. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to tear that side off and figure out what the heck's going on. Okay, I've got the right side panel of the Aurora R2 removed. I'll show you later how I did that. I actually found a manual online, repair manual for this, and this page shows how to do it. There are 3 screws that are buried inside all the way in the far side, so you need a 12-inch or 10-inch Phillips head, which I happen to have, and of course you want to have a magnet on it, which I also have. from the work I did before. So I was able to remove a panel. I had to pull all the hard drives and so forth. So now the lights are all on at this point, but if we touch this right here, you notice that's the issue. Somewhere in here there's a broken connection. So I'm going to rework this and find out what that is. Okay, I found the problem. The problem is that the strip has been pinched and the 5-volt connection has been broken. It's right, let me find something to point with. It's right here. That's broken. If you see, if you'll notice the lights, when I move this, the lights on the far side. So the fix is going to be quite easy. All I have to do is solder that. Put a solder that back together, and then make this such that when I put it back together, that's not pinched. And that'll fix the problem. Okay, I've soldered, and I put solder on all of those. Now what I'm going to do, the reason this was broken was that it was pinched when the plastic panel was slid on, because the plastic panel latches behind these, so it has to be slid this way. And that pinched this LED strip. So what I'm going to do is cut away using a hot soldering iron this corner right here, so that the LED strip is not pinched when the side panel is slid on. The other thing I've determined is that not all the screws are required to be removed to remove the side panel. Apparently only this front one holds the side panel in place. The other two are down in here, so they must hold either this panel or this panel on, and they probably slide too. This upper one is held on by how many screws? 2 screws, and also is clipped in vertically. So that's an interesting thing to note when I reassemble this and do the other case. This, I don't think I need, well, okay, I don't know. I probably need to remove them all in the retrofit to get these panels off. But I don't think, well, this repair certainly doesn't require it. Okay. So this is my test setup. Obviously I can't have the computer powered on while I do this work. So the controller for the LEDs is this little tiny, it's hiding in here. It's a little tiny. Where is it? Well, it's stuck in there. It's a little tiny thing about the size of a pack of cigarettes. Pack of stick of gum that's hidden in there. I think it's must be tied in so that it can be reached through the front with the IR controller. So that has been modified. It uses 5 volts from originally uses 5 volts from a USB, but that wasn't available inside the machine, so I modified it to get 5 volts from a SATA connector, and then that's easily plugged in because there's a SATA connector for the second DVD drive, so I'm just using that. So to power this thing when the computer isn't active, I use a modified cable which goes from a SATA female to a Type A USB connector. So this from the controller just plugs in here, and then this USB Type A gets its power from a phone charger. So that's all it takes, and you notice it's lighting up. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, I cut a little corner out of this, smoothed it out with X-Acto, and hot glued the strip back into place. So I think that'll clear the side panel. So then now the next thing to do is to slide the side panel back on and see if it fits properly. So I think I may have found the problem why this back or the side panel is so hard to put back on. It has to slide, as you can see from these catches. It has to push on and then slide. I think these fins were actually catching the LEDs. This one I had cut before, but it still wasn't easy to put on. I wasn't able to put it on. When I looked up under here, I could see these fins were catching the LEDs because I didn't put the LEDs in exactly the same place that the strip was that came with the case. So let's try this and see if this doesn't solve the problem. Okay, the panel's back on, the screws are in. I think it's fixed. Let's test it. Okay, it's on. It's on red. Can't find a way to... There's green and blue. And purple's where I usually run it. So it's working. Let's screw around with it a little bit. Okay, I had to remove some more. There's a catch right here that isn't really necessary. There's 2 more catches right here, but that catch was pinching the LED strip. That's the catch that originally caused the problem. I had trimmed it before. At this point, I just cut it off. So this is still solid, and the panel went back on. So now let's put the other side panel on and put the machine back where it belongs and see if everything works again. Okay, the computer is all hooked up, hard drive's back in it, side panel screwed on. Looks like the lights work. Jiggling this doesn't do anything. Looks like it's solid. So we found the problem. Okay, so let's look at the other side. There they are. Lights are fine. I've tested the colors, they all work. A little hard to aim the IR remote up under there, but it works.